our minor pentatonic scale. You know, we're getting kind of comfortable with it. We got kind of our little arsenal. But there are certain situations where you've noticed maybe that it just doesn't really gel as well as it should. Okay? And the situation I'm thinking of is when we've got a progression that's a little bit happier, a little sweeter sounding. Really what that means is like more of a major sounding progression. So we need, you know, another option. And this is a really cool way to do it. Guess what? It's called the major pentatonic scale. All right? The coolest thing about it is, especially when we're first learning it, I'm going to just imagine that you've never played it before, is that we don't have to learn any new shape. We don't have to learn any new fingerings or anything like that. We're going to play the exact same pentatonic that we were playing before, but we're going to shift it. We're going to do something different with it. So what I'm going to do is I have a progression that's basically just a G, kind of G blues progression. And I went to C, you know, just kind of a standard thing, okay? And so what we're going to do is if we're, you know, we want to know what our root is or what our key is, and we're in G, okay? So what we're going to do is, you know, if I were to play this progression, now I could put my first finger right up here on the 15th fret and play my, you know, G minor pentatonic. Now I could do that, and in this kind of progression it's going to work, but I want to talk about that major pentatonic. So what we're going to do is we want to know what our root is, because this is how I think of it. For the minor pentatonic, we put our first finger on the root, G, and I plug in that pentatonic shape that we've learned already. But to play the G major pentatonic, we're going to shift the scale down. And so what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to put my pinky of that fingering on the root, okay? So my pinky is going to go on that 15th fret instead of my first finger. So the minor pentatonic would be right here. You know, all that stuff, all right here. But if I put my pinky on that root and shift it down to right here, I'm ending, you know, the root is where my pinky is in that shape. That's what makes it different. Because you'd see if my root was right here, that's an E note. So the E minor pentatonic is actually all the same notes as the G major pentatonic, but we're using it completely different. We're using this over a G progression. And so one thing that I'd say would be really important with the major pentatonic is just know where your roots are in that shape, because it's different now. And we're going to use it differently, but as far as, you know, the fingering and everything, it's the same thing. So my roots in the shape are going to be my pinky on the low E string, and then the 12th fret on the G string, G on the 12th fret, and then my pinky again up on that 15th fret of the high E string. So when you're playing through the scale, you can just hear where the, you know, the licks are going to resolve differently than in the minor pentatonic. See? We don't usually resolve our minor licks to that note like that. Okay, so let's just run the scale a little bit. That's the root, but we have that still in there, but the root's right here, so I'm going to start with that note. The bend, our favorite bend here on the 14th fret of the G string, that's still really nice, but what we can do is we can resolve it to the 12th fret. So watch, I'm just going to jam out in the scale a little bit, and you can just hear how it applies to the chords. Here we go. emphasize again that this is the exact same minor pentatonic shape that you've probably been working on for a while. All we've done is shifted it. We're applying it differently, but it's all the same fingerings, even the same bends, and even the same licks are still going to work, but we're creating this completely different sound, this kind of sweeter, happier, kind of vibe. It's just got a completely its own sound, and it's really easy to dial in.